YouTube, your boy is finally back here again with some more Valorant. If you guys wondering what the fuck I'm talking about by being back is I was gone for 5 days, so I didn't get to record any. I didn't get to record the Valorant lore video at all, or any more Valorant in general, or gaming videos in general. So your boy is finally back. So today we're gonna tune in to a lore video. You guys told me not to do the other lore video because it is outdated. So we're gonna check out this one from Kaizen, the author. Go support his channel at the bottom. I'll leave a link to the original video in the description. Go support him. We're gonna check out this briefly explained lore video. Any of that? Sit back. Let's get to it.
Hey there, welcome to the entire timeline of Valorant's story so far. I want this to be a bare bones, easy, and brief way for new console and mobile players to get into Valorant's story.
Valorant's a mobile? Valorant's a mobile as well? What the fuck? Hold on, what? Valorant's a mobile? No, I gotta see this shit. Now see. I was gonna say it, huh? I was about to say it.
As well as PC players who don't know much of it. I could have made this video well over 3 hours with all of Valorant's lore, which is just a testament to how dense it is for
Give me the 3-hour version too. I appreciate it.
Feeds its story. I'll go by how the information was released through Valorant's saga and seasons, which are called acts, and 3 acts equal an episode. With that out the way, let's start with episode 0. Valorant's story before the protocol was formed. The First Light was a major event that impacted the whole Earth. It was described as a huge EMP pulse shutting down power for billions and lasted hours before electricity was restored. It's unknown what caused this event, but that there was a research facility not far from its source. It's unknown what
the direct cause of the First Light is unknown, as the details of what occurred during the events of First Light are ambiguous. The cause of First Light cannot be
caused this event, but that there was a research facility not far from its source working on Radianite.
Kingdom.
One of the narrative writers on Valorant's team details the First Light as a supercharged Radianite event. This is where once an average society drastically changes. This event gave life to what we know as Radiance, Radivores, and Radianite itself. A mysterious substance, if refined properly, would hold mass amounts of power. Power that Kingdom would use to supply 3/4 of the world's energy needs. This will help Kingdom branch into other areas like apparel, food, health, and research. They are currently everywhere, which is why it's hard to tell this story without mentioning them. The same with Radianite, which is the driving force for our story. It helped accelerate the advancement of Earth's technology and research. These drastic changes to Earth sparked the formation of the Valorant Protocol, or the VP for short. An organization tasked with keeping the world safe from dangerous situations involving Radianite. And while we're on the topic, Kingdom does not fund the protocol, despite some of its members formerly working for them.
Oh, they don't?
Brimstone and Viper are responsible for the formation of the VP, with Brimstone being the leader and Viper being the second in command. Omen is known to have played a part in the protocol's founding too. We currently don't know who's the one funding this organization. If we fast forward to the events of episode 1, 14 agents would have joined the protocol. Killjoy, a German tech genius who used to work for Kingdom. Cypher, the Moroccan who is skilled in gathering intel and wiping information off about agents who join. Sova, a Russian marksman who you can count on.
With the bow and arrow.
Sage, the team's healer who can do so much more. Phoenix, the British hothead running into danger first.
The British hothead.
Jet, a skilled South Korean who can control the
I'll say this. I thought it was Brimstone and Sage that might have been the top, you know, but that might have been the founding members. I would expect Omen, but initially, you know, that's what I thought was gonna go. But yeah, I mean Brimstone, yes, but Viper.
Reyna, a fearsome and proud Radiant, who has a city to protect of other Radiants from those who may try to exploit their powers or even harm them. Raze, the Brazilian with big explosives and even bigger personality. Breach, a former Swedish mercenary with arms that can break into anything. And lastly, Sky, the Earth-loving Aussie who's willing to get down and dirty to protect nature. You may have noticed that so far I've only named 13 agents altogether instead of 14. This is because the number 8 has been redacted from the team. Agent 8 supposedly exists, but we currently know nothing about them. Episode 1 is also when the events of the Duelist cinematic takes place. Here we will see Phoenix face off against an enemy jet, but eventually lose, leading to a spike explosion lifting portions of Italy into the sky. This will be known as Ascent endgame. It would also cause the likes of both Jet and Phoenix's face to be plastered all over the world for the wrong reasons, as criminals responsible for this disaster. This event will also cause the public to be distrusting of Kingdom, who saw their stocks fall hard. We will then travel to Radianite mining facility in Morocco. Here we see the likes of Phoenix, KJ, and Viper trying to stop another spike explosion from happening.
Yeah, the spike explosions cause
To
a
the
big
surprise
ass
of
mayhem.
many, we see two Phoenix facing each other just before KJ was able to build a device to stop the spike explosion, with the help of Phoenix superheating Radiantite too. After this, Viper states that she and Brimstone will inform Phoenix about the agent's doubles. This is when the protocol will start operating differently too. Before this event, the agents would typically work solo, which explains why Phoenix did not recognize Jet. I guess successfully stopping the disaster on Bind make them figure that it's better to work as a team. This is when the idea of Mirror Earth becomes known to us as well, and explains parts of the plot of why agents who look alike fight each other over Radiantite. We'll go more into them in episode 3 and 5. Also keep in mind that the duality cinematic was released in episode 2 but takes place during the events of episode 1. Duality actually takes place the day after the Venice incident. But first, I would deeply appreciate it.
It takes the day after? Shit, but I was gonna talk about that the premise of having a mirror world is actually pretty cool. It's a cool concept for this game because it kind of it creates a story for the game in a sense where, like, you know, it justifies us going against other agents, you know, like actually in the actual game, in the game itself, you know, why are we fighting each other? Because I know as far as damn, it's been a minute since I watched Siege 1. I know the Siege 1, damn, besides some villains like Deimos, I know I need to rewatch cinematics again. I think it was more like training. I think it was more like training for fun and stuff, that, you know, you guys going against each other to basically practice. That's how I felt. I think that's what overseas. Correct. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. But, you know, it gives you an actual valid reason why you're fighting each other in the actual game.
Consider liking and subscribing to this channel.
Again, I'll leave a link. I'll leave a link.
Okay, we'll do a Q&A plus a deep dive video on one specific agent that you guys vote on. At 5,000 subscribers, I'll do a live stream based on what you guys. I'll do a like on track with this topic. Icebox was released. It's based slightly north of Russia.
Icebox.
It's a kingdom.
Also, I will be watching the map cinematics as well. I'll watch it as well. Don't worry about it.
Port and research facility
that
that holds
Valorant
artifacts from Japan's Tokugawa era. Some of these artifacts hold Radiantite in them, which starts to raise suspicion that maybe humans started working with it well before Kingdom researched
years ago.
While we're here, we can't forget about our first appearance of Paul Dillman, Employee of the Month. Haven and Split were also playable at this time. For Haven, Kingdom transformed this.
That's cool. The map has lore.
Storage facility, and Radiantite may have a hand in the rocky formations that appear here. Split, though, is Kingdom's headquarters and main research lab. Some of the locals aren't a fan of them because this mega corporation has a tendency to ignore cultural and historic landmarks in an area, and at times ruins them. In episode 2, the likes of both Yoru and
cool. The map has actual, you know, lore.
Yoru joined before her as the 15th agent. He's a proud and confident Japanese Radiant who can open small rifts in reality and walk in them, as well as teleport. He joined the protocol after breaking into Icebox and stealing a mask that helps him better use his powers. We first see him in the retake cinematic where him and Phoenix successfully fought off Viper, Cypher, and Jet's doubles. The most interesting part about the cinematic is that as the spike is counting down, boxes are suspended in the air, like they're defying gravity. This is a common trait with Radiantite. And if we fast forward, Astra is the 16th agent added to the protocol. Hailing from Ghana, this upbeat and comical individual is what we call an Astral Guardian. A group of ancient beings tasked with defending reality from danger. This group of individuals left behind structures and artifacts like Astra's arm, which helps her better control her powers too. Regardless, her goals are in line with that of the protocol, so joining their ranks was a no-duh. Breach was also playable in episode 2. It's located in the Caribbeans and is a Radiantite mining facility. You can see caves filled with it.
I actually appreciate this a lot.
One think that Radiantite is a lot older than we thought, and that it forms with the Earth. You can also see that a ship has crashed into the island around a site, as well as a teleporter that will play an important role for something else later. If we go to the opposite side of an island, there's a mansion belonging to an NPC named Thurston Wolf. We can see that there are murals detailing the story of Radiantite crashing into his home. Breeze's story leads us to episode 3.
I gotta say, that's awesome. That's actually pretty awesome for you guys. The fact that you guys actually involve, you know, lore in the map as well. The actual map you get to play and explore. That's actually cool because, you know, it leads to theorize. You could theorize and break down like we're watching now, essentially, for the lore, and that's awesome. That's actually awesome for the community.
KO, Chamber, and Fracture added to the game.
KO
is from an alternate futures timeline, a future that had the Radiantite Wars break out, a war that possibly lasted hundreds of years. It was implied that it was started and led by Reyna as one side's queen. We can assume in this alternate future that the VP had split up. KO was built during this time since he had the ability to suppress people's powers with polarized radianite. Originally, his acronym stood for Kingdom Anti-Yield Operative, but KO himself likes to say it's kill all your opponents. After the war ended, countless lives were lost, including some on the team. KO was sent back in time to stop the war from ever taking place, through the teleporter on Breeze. We were also able to see Fracture in episode 3. Its location is in New Mexico, and home to the
That's crazy for KO, bro. They got some back in time.
This was a joint venture between both Earth's Kingdom companies. The Kingdom Corporation for Alpha Earth, and the Kingdom Industries for Omega Earth. Fracture gives us insight that things aren't looking too hot for Omega Earth, as we can see with these posters. They seem to be putting pressure more on the researchers with a sense of urgency.
Less talking, more doing.
While Alpha Earth's posters seem to be more one of hope and happiness. This facility is located on Alpha Earth, and Omega researchers will use teleporters to travel to it. Employees were forbidden from working with each other's doubles. One day, the facility's radiant collider exploded, which destroyed it and killed many working there. Currently, the facility is
doubles working in the same facilities.
But a massive blue line fracture separates both sides. Sir Jeppy does a great job at detailing the events of this tragedy. There were only a few individuals that survived, including the likes of Ori McNiff and Ruben Pointes. Their names will come up later.
These names.
Paul Dillman also worked on the fracture facility too. The cause of this disaster is unknown to many in the story of Valorant, but to us, we know it was by Alpha Chamber and his Omega double. The reasons why he did this are unknown. Chamber was able to get into contact with Brimstone and Viper while they were being held captive. You can hear Viper's voice in the beginning of his trailer. After saving Brimstone, Chamber positions himself as the person who can help them get to Omega Earth. Even though the two leaders don't fully trust him at this point, they agree to let Chamber help them, and thus he becomes the 18th member on the protocol. And just like Brimstone, Viper, and Killjoy, he also worked for Kingdom. He was their weapon designer and knows a thing or two about the Breeze teleporter. He was also in the French military and a part of Kingdom's defense program. We'll start episode 4 with Neon.
I've been told that both Chambers are actually friends.
But prior, she, like Brimstone, was a part of KSEC, which is Kingdom's private military division. She was brought on based off of Chamber's recommendation, since her powers could help them travel to Omega Earth. Killjoy states that Neon's bioelectricity is enlaced with Earth's radianite mesh, and that this feat shouldn't be possible, but it is. So her and Neon continue to work on the mission to Omega Earth, while Reyna and Sage fights over who should be training her. Meanwhile, Yoru went back to Sage fighting over her, more dimensional tearing that was older and wondered why Japanese armor was filled with radianite, despite Kingdom stating that they discovered it only 10 years ago. During his time on the warship, he fell into a space and possibly time traveled, or at least viewed either the future or the past. These events coincide with Yoru's rework in game, which saw him get buffs
and
changes to his kit, which is lore as to how Yoru got more powerful. For the rest of episode 4,
it makes sense. Someone gets actual rework.
Who was revealing information on each agent. We learned a lot more about their fears and past accomplishments. With Brimstone, we found out that his childhood friend, Tyreek Porter, died, and the blackmailer questions if he has what it takes to avoid leading this team to slaughter again. In Viper's dossier, we found out that she was a young genius.
I'll read both of these actually. Oh, Liam, you keep your people close, don't you? The BFD Engine 8, then the Special Forces, you and your Ravens, you would have done anything for them. Yeah, despite all your best efforts, you watched Tariq Porter die. What did Samira say when you told her? Now, after all this time, has anything changed? Are you leading Valorant to the slaughter? Do you really think you can save anyone? Damn, Vern.
Or leading this team to slaughter again. In Viper's dossier, we found out that she was.
He got esteemed Dr. Callis, the youngest recipient of the R. Francis Prize, winner of the Denton Outstanding Innovation Award, and the first chief scientific officer on Kingdom's board of advisors. In the incident, everything changed after that, didn't it? You changed, you isolated yourself, shed all the pieces of your life in the name of vengeance. Have you ever stopped to think about what's left of the person that will remain when all your rage is spent?
A young genius, but an incident changed her
that Dorfin arc.
The blackmailer points out that the First Light was not kind to Omen and foreshadows that
Omen, First Light was not kind to you, John, or was it Fred? Everywhere I like a new alias, Marcus Johann Dimitri, but no true name. Do you even know who you are or who you were? From what I found at Point Light, I expect not. What sort of person has no name? An honest one, you are a monster now. Perhaps you were a monster before. If you succeed in finding your answer, I hope you don't regret it.
He might not be happy with the answers he seeks. With Sage, we found out that she was a part of a monastery and that
Ling Ying Wei, the bomb of Shang-Chi. All the good you've done, the cost endured. Yes, I found the monastery. Have you forgotten those lessons over and over? They taught balance, action, reaction. Do you believe that? Do you believe these? Oh no. Do you believe this does not apply to you? The life saved does not mean a life taken. I don't know the answer. Do you? Or is the thought of it too much? Now, with every selfless act, your toe keeps climbing. Yes, ignorance safer.
Their teachings kind of went against what Sage was doing with the protocol. For Reyes, it's that she may have won many battles against Kingdom in her.
Tayan Alves, Tata to friends, daughter of her beloved city, have walked your streets, seen your art beautiful, if not lacking in discipline, but he had abandoned. No, but the abandoned kingdom plots remain. Splash of paint, a testament to your victories. That paint is fading. You've been away too long. Kingdom is a weed and it will return to choke the life from your home. What will become of Bahia? I wonder when are you indisposed?
Her beloved city, but the war continues without her there. For Chamber, his motives are still a mystery to the blackmailer, but still.
Vincent Fabron. When did your game start, Vincent? Saint Etienne? Coverin Kingdom defense was only a stepping stone, but then you had your path. What a path. Your ends elude me, but this is not aimless ambition. Whatever your goal you believe is necessary, it is. Perhaps the one truth you hold sacred. But no matter your intent, right or wrong, there will be judgment if it goes against you. If they call you villain, can you live with that forever?
They state that the judgment for his past actions could ruin all his credibility. And just like Viper, KJ was a young prodigy. However,
and it's not really. Hold on. Is he going with the older cards? Cloud Bohringer, distinguished inventor nominee, Kingdom R&D lead at 18. Zera and Emil must have been so proud. Perhaps you were too successful. How many breakthroughs did you hand over without thought to the implications? How many innovations did you champion only for others to twist for a purpose you never dreamed? Good intentions count for little. Ignorance, even less. Someone's asked, do you have any idea how bloody your hands truly are? Ooh.
The blackmailer points out that her works with Kingdom may have resulted in the deaths of many. With Cypher, the blackmailer points out his safe house locations as a way to startle him and even predicts his next moves, as well as the fact that he has a problem with showing his face to any.
Alright, yeah, safe house are quite comfortable, Amir. The basement in Rabat, the Tangier apartment, your lovely den in Marrakesh, such hospitality. Already your mind is turning. You'll abandon these compromised locations, start again, hype deeper, cease exists. And your face, you consider reading into those closest to you, but no, too risky. That mask stays on because what's another year about noticing your eyes or sharing a smile with your little one? You have a wife and kid. That's crazy.
Especially those closest to him. The pressure to never miss was pointing towards Sova.
Sasha Novikov, the man who never missed a shot. Never is a strange word. Think of it. Think of the weight it carries. It's a legacy you made before you took the name Sova. But when they called you Flynn, brother of steel and string, but never is a lie. You missed your shot before. It would never happen. It would happen again, despite training, despite denial. Your aim will falter when it matters most. And then there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure.
And that possibly his legacy was built on a lie. There were details about how Breach chose to live a life of crime, despite giving
the Thorsten family has pursued and punished, but not you, Eric. Not the congenital amputee. The judge couldn't see past your disability. They saw to you piteous lenience, unwanted, unneeded, undeserved. Damn. So she struck back the Stockholm Radianized Reserve. The Gothenburg job, your trip to Salvador, ignoring you became impossible. Notoriety so high you had to disappear. You showed them you're as much as Torsten as the rest. Was the lesson worth it? Knowing you can never go home.
Second chance, as well as a trip to Salvador. This could be alluding to the time that him and Reyes teamed up. However, for Sky, it's stated that she has a history of fighting against corporations.
You've quite the resume, Kira. The Nimbin project failure, the Blue Mountains miracle, South Coast, Son Rocks, Kangaroo Valley, on and on and on. Has the great reclaimer lost her way? You fought Kingdom for years. How is Valorant any different? The money, the agenda. It's another corporate machine. And when they whistle, you come running. And wild beast brought to heel. Can you remember their dutiful pet? Even as the wilds wither and your world burns.
But the blackmailer wonders how different Valorant.
Blackmailer be talking shit.
It's clear that the blackmailer does not know the complete inner workings of the team, since their agenda isn't based on profit, like the corporations that Sky fought. And the thing that was pointed out with Neon was control, or a lack of it. Something.
Control. Your father had it with his mind. Radio supports technologies that make it life livable for millions. A path that started with you. Control. Your mother had it with her service. Transforming her community for the better. Through an adherence to justice and law. Control. Your mentors, Ling and Zanya, have it with their power. Living examples of radiant possibility. Control. They'll give so many yearn to give you the one thing you never have. Control.
That her parents had when helping others in their community and the world. For Jet, the blackmailer brings up a number of incidents her Omega counter
Sun Wuhan, always in the move, anything to keep you running. You ran after the restaurant was all but destroyed. I think we saw this. Freaked Storm, they call it how unusual. You ran after Venice, your face was everywhere. Enemy of the world, the dangerous radiant. Those who knew you were horrified, disgusted, even ashamed. You claim you're innocent, that it wasn't you. Perhaps you even believe it. Can you really outrun what people think of you?
Part framed her, and how that ruined her life. That there are some things that her feet can't outrun. Phoenix Dossier focused on his reckless nature.
Jamie Adeyemi, I kept the troublemaker, so much promise, so much talent, stoked into a single flame, but that fire burns hot. You embrace it, you feed it, you revel in its brightness, what of the kindling. A little boy from Peckham, embraced by a woman, constantly fighting for your safety. That multiple women? It didn't stop you then. It doesn't stop you now. So much promise, so many that love you, and you will risk it all just to burn a little brighter. Damn.
Nature
That's
that
me.
holds back his potential to achieve more in life. For Astra, we get a bit more backstory.
Goddamn, are we going through everybody's shit? I mean, we're through all 15 members. Goddamn. What did you read to the lake, Fia Danzo? What was it you found there? The crater more than 1 million years old. Not a place for somebody like you. Perhaps it was nice sky looking up. What did you see? Stars, bright and beautiful and distant. No, you saw the emptiness between the impossible cold. There's so much more for it, isn't there? Isn't there? So much more darkness than light.
He even points out some struggles that she has. For Reyna, this is where we get the info that she has a sanctuary and how it's a byproduct of her painful past.
She goes, Ozanya, Dianya, you've seen painful things in your time and you have gone to extremes in response. I have seen your sanctuary, those people, those children stolen away from kingdoms, microscope into community where broken things can mend, all built by you. You cherish and protect them, avenge them. Yet none hold the same place in your heart as Lucia, your own blood. The only life you may not be strong enough to save.
Protect others like her from going through something similar can also be a reason why she trains so hard. However, the blackmailer points out that some things may just be out of her control, like Lucia's health. Yoru's Dossier points out his loner behavior may leave him empty once his goals
You leave quite the trail of broken bones, don't you, Rio? Tokyo, Yokohama, the Edo conglomerate, you are so dedicated to your cause. Resolute in crushing your enemies. A loner is what they call you. The title you have worn with pride, even as every love, every friendship buckles under the weight of your ferocity. But I wonder, when you have finally finished the job you set out to do, what you have no one left to share in its end.
have been accomplished. And lastly, KO. We are reminded of
how do you exist? That's true. Kingdom has no anti-yield program. It's a rejected project proposal, nothing more. But here you stand, an anti-yield operative. Curious, regardless of origin, your purpose is clear. Kill Radiants. Yeah, you fight alongside them. Call them allies. Can you survive that fallacy? Does it strain your code? Isn't each directive you resist a step towards breaking down? I've seen the way you look at Reyna, even without eyes. The pain is within your face. I mean, to be fair, I mean, we know about I don't think the blackmail knows about him.
Eliminating dangerous radiants, despite him being on a team full of them. KO,
he doesn't truly understand the story.
Chambers and Cypher were sent to capture the blackmailer. However, this was quite a struggle for them until KO came down to suppress their abilities. As we know now, Fade was the blackmailer, making the agents relive their worst nightmares and question their actions. Fade was once considered a bounty hunter, but now she is recruited to protocol due to high praise from Cypher. Despite some like Jet not being a fan of it, her abilities allow her to be a great asset in gathering information. She originally fought the protocol because she thought they took someone important to her, which turned out to be the wrong assumption.
It's a misunderstanding.
After this mission, Killjoy and Neon were able to get the teleporter working, plus Silver helped with some of recon and testing. And with everything good to go, Brimstone okayed a new mission to journey to Omega Earth. Episode 5 started with the likes of Reyna, Neon, and Killjoy traveling to Omega Earth, where they fought Viper and Atlas. Think of them as the time and space police who monitor interdimensional travel. Once the battle was over, they found themselves in a comic book shop within a domed city known as Pearl, located in Lisbon, Portugal. Here, we find out that on Omega Earth, the agents are not a covert organization, but rather seen as heroes and go by the Valorant Legion. The reason why they journey to Alpha Earth becomes more apparent, as it is needed to save lives due to their Earth's climate, making life almost inhabitable for cities that were once easily hospitable. We also find out that many on Omega Earth live within these underwater biodomes, made with the help of Radianite. There are a lot of posters that let us know that Omega Earth is no stranger to traveling to other worlds, which continues to let us know how much more advanced Omega Earth is than Alpha. The likes of Orin McNiff and Ruben Portes are also seen as fugitives because Alpha citizens are not allowed on Omega Earth, at least according to Atlas. The Valorant Protocol would begin to do missions and set up ways to spy on Omega Earth, with the help of Cypher, Breach, and Fade. Thanks to their efforts, they knew that Harbor was an important player for Omega Earth's Valorant Legion. They found his alpha double on the run from Realm, an organization that works to recover rare old items that were stolen from
like his
thieves
wrist thing.
or on the black market.
There
seems to be no Omega Earth equivalent of them. They are seen as noble individuals.
There's no Omega Earth equivalent for those items? I feel like that's kind of sus.
They return items back to the countries of origins. There are some rogue individuals in Realm that keeps the prize for themselves though. Regardless, after helping Harbor, Astra had a talk with him about his artifact and the City of Flowers. Harbor confirms that on Alpha Earth the city was destroyed, but could still be intact on Omega Earth. They found out that their artifacts were meant to be used as keys to unlock some kind of power on Lotus. Plans were quickly made afterwards. Harbor, Astra, and Sky all went to Omega Earth. From Pearl, they split up in Europe since Atlas was hot on their tail. Later, all three would regroup in India, where Sky decided to stay behind and successfully fight off Atlas.
Oh shit.
Episode 6 starts off with Alpha, Harbor, and Astra finding their way to Lotus on Omega Earth. During the events of the Shadow cinematics, we discover that the Legion have other enemies that they face on Omega Earth, as well as the recruitment number of certain agents like Sage are different with the Valorant Legion. They also seem to at one point have an Agent 8, but their locker is all but gone, which is different from how Alpha Earth's Agent 8 locker is just scratched out. Once on Lotus, we see many details, structures, and hints that let us know that the Astral Guardians once worked with humans and helped advance parts of their society. It seems that they were able to genetically modify plants with the help of Radianite. These Radianite infused plants will help power Lotus to move doors and bring about light. It also seems that plants were used to power the Nexus on Lotus. A Nexus mechanism theorized to help the Guardians travel to different worlds, which is where we saw Astra briefly activate it. It was speculated by Harbor that if it was activated on Omega Earth while its counterpart on Alpha was destroyed, it could bring calamity to Alpha Earth's India and possibly affecting more in the process.
That's risky as fuck.
Luckily,
that's
a
way too risky.
Explosion goes off, draining power from it.
And luckily,
shortly after this, Fade had a vision of a possible future that no one on the protocol would want to see come to reality.
Brimstone, the nightmare came to me with a vision, different from the rest. I saw the walls holding our world together fall apart. I felt the wind go still. I could smell the bitterness of blood and
the destruction of the world.
I heard small, uncertain voices crying out, and I could taste the fear. There was so much of it.
Yeah, it's so vivid though.
The whole planet had fever, so I climbed. I climbed this tall cliff.
Ah, damn.
It was jagged as bone, stretching up, dizzying. But with broken fingers, I reached the top and saw the end of our time.
End of the world. End of line, man.
Silent window, stretching over the ocean, filled with dead faces.
It's all of theirs.
And then I woke up. Brimstone, I have seen many things in my line of work, but we must not let this come to pass.
Around this time, weird things started happening.
That's crazy.
LA, more specifically,
end of the world.
In Kingdom West facilities and the surrounding neighborhoods. Members of the protocol were sent to investigate.
So Gecko?
There, they found Gecko on the run. He was able to break into the facility and escape with the help of his Radivores, one of which opened a portal for him to escape. He will continue to stay in contact with the Valorant protocol, mainly through Reyna, before joining their ranks. After this, Maxbox started to act weirdly. Jet was also working as an undercover chef out of Cypher's surveillance truck. She was able to get some details.
That's actually, oh yeah, that guy Cypher with a mustache.
In episode 7, we got to see what this cargo shipment was. A Radivore bear who destroyed the Project Landfall facility. Deadlock and her team of hunters were sent to investigate it. This bear was able to take down everyone but Deadlock herself. During all this fighting, it seemed the bear was able to make a telepathic connection with Deadlock after biting her arm.
Yeah. And she lost her arm.
After these events, Sova was sent to Norway due to a tip that Jet got. He was able to recover Deadlock and bring her to HQ, where Killjoy fitted her with a new arm. Around this time, Maxbox went fully rogue and trapped some of the agents in different locations.
He went rogue?
Eventually become TDM maps.
Huh.
Shortly after this, Deadlock pressured Brimstone to order a raid onto the Sunset facility, as well as lock up Gecko's creatures. She was only able to get one of these requests met with the help of others on the team saying that
time has come to heed Deadlock's warning. it won't matter if those arrogant fools started with good intentions. If the results are catastrophic, your case contact opened the bank door for diplomacy. Really Valorant, you need to make him understand what's at stake. If he refuses to take the facility offline, we need to put the plug.
Kingdom's experiments needed to be stopped. They were able to break into the facility and fight off the guards. However, Wingman was needed to shut down the portal. The process left a giant sinkhole outside of Kingdom West facilities.
God damn!
Since it gives us a couple of insights into Valorant's story. For one, Paul is still alive, and two, a raidivore that goes by ZN35 escaped. Shortly after the destruction of Kingdom West, some of the workers who escaped returned to scrap together their remaining project. However, they were met by ISO, a hitman whose nickname is the Dead Lilac. He was able to successfully eliminate them, however his next task was Omen. He got into contact with Cypher asking for protection from his employers. They brought him aboard, and Sage details his powers as being able to manipulate Radianite to form structures, as well as construct an arena within the Interverse. This leads us to episode 8.
Yeah, we saw the
Cypher, Sova, and to some extent ISO went to 2 hideouts, the first one being based in Morocco, where Cypher showed out his prowess, and we get to see the same individual that was tailing Fade in the Shatter Cinematic.
Oh shit!
Which means that this organization is present on both Alpha and Omega Earth, as well as being an antagonist to both the Valorant Protocol and the Valorant Legion. They shortly found themselves in Indonesia after the interrogation, where Omen was able to recover the outlaw sniper.
Oh, there's this one.
We were able to get a lot of information about Omen
more about
and
Omen's
his
backstory.
former employers. Their mission was to keep Radianite hidden from the public.
Yeah, Viper.
Omen was seen as one of their best agents, and he was tasked with ending Viper. However, Viper was able to get the upper hand and trap and change Omen to the being that we know of today. One of the leaders of this organization went splat off camera. However, this revelation of Omen's past caused a drift between him and Viper. We were also able to get the name of Omen and ISO's former employers as the Scions of Hourglass. Shortly after, Omen decided to go on his solo dolo Batman arc and leave the protocol to find more answers about his group and his past. His journey led him to Edinburgh, Scotland, where Clove was found and recommended to the protocol. It turns out that one of Clove's powers is immortality. They travel to a different plane of existence and can interact with the land of the living from there. Cypher and Clove were able to decode a journal leading to another Scion's base described as the Elder Grotto.
That's crazy.
The team made plans to attack
Immortality.
ISO, Omen, and Clove were able to successfully take it. This map will be known as the Abyss, holding many Radianite artifacts dating back hundreds of years ago. Research into Radianite infused plants and animals, as well as a security unit that seemed to hold a very important individual. 3 stray bullets hit a containment unit, which eventually helped this individual break free. In episode 9, we found out that they would go on a vengeance spree, destroying many of the Scion's bases. The team would try to intercept this person in Korea, and almost fail to do so if it wasn't for Omen. We would find out that this person will go by the call sign Vyse, and that she has a history with Kingdom, the Scions, and Viper too. She has the ability to manipulate an alloy that is carbon-based and infused with Radianite that only can be found through her.
That's what it looks like.
Will also have metal. Talks, and it seems that he's back with the protocol too. This is all the information that I wanted to cover. Like I said, this purpose was a bare bones video to help people get into Valorant's lore. Just focusing on key and major events.
I appreciate it.
Time cards of other videos covering certain topics mentioned in this one. Let me know down below your theories on things. Till next time, stay safe, and I'll be yapping in the next one.
I actually appreciate it. That was actually pretty great. That was actually pretty cool because we have seen. So, I mean, the first video we ever did was the episodic reactions. So like, it was more of me trying to pick apart what I actually got from those videos, from the different cinematics. See what what can I piece together myself even there. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't really a lot because it was mainly about the herbs. Didn't really know about Mega and Alpha, the names of it. It's more. This video went into more detail. This video was actually great because we revisited those episodes, but we actually understood everything. Like we understood cohesively everything that happened, all the events and how they actually smoothly transition to the next one, and next one how the story actually continues. So actually, I really appreciate this video. Again, check out the channel. I will leave a link in the description below. Check out the original video. Go support them as well. For the great video. I appreciate it tremendously because. Even that, I'll say drop a 3-hour video. Go ahead, drop a 3-hour video because it's actually you actually did a good job on it. It wasn't boring at all, and it's actually really good. But yeah, it's actually pretty cool because it's kind of things we kind of knew a tiny bit of it. We kind of theorized about it. But now actually seeing how everybody worked together, how cohesively everybody did their own thing. the dynamics between characters, the KO shit is actually cool. The fact he's from a future where shit goes south is crazy though. That's actually awesome. I would love to check that out even more. But yeah, things are actually going smoothly. I wonder if there's anything new because we have Waylay. What's it, Theo? The other guy, the guy that looks like a Colombian cartel. Remember? That's what he looks like. So I wonder if the story has evolved even more with those two releases. But yeah, damn, who's 8? 8 and 8. Shit though, but it's actually really intriguing. It's actually pretty cool because it's basically the dynamic between two Earths, how they work, how we're able to go back and forth between both of them. One is basically dying, the other one has different, different outlooks. The fact that people can work on different Earths as well for Kingdom. You have Atlas, the corporation that kind of prevents and controls them. Not controls it, but just polices it. But actually, I really love the story about Omen, especially the whole shit with Viper and Omen, that whole kind of whole thing. Even Vyse getting into it with Viper too. So I appreciate that tremendously. I appreciate this a lot though. But besides that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I did. Make sure you like and subscribe. See you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching.